hmm We are back with another fight night. Hello, hello, hello. We're gonna go through every fight on the card as usual. And we are gonna assess it all. We're gonna see exactly what we got here. Some of these fights I already kind of understand, like, what's gonna happen. Because they're kind of like, duh. But a lot of them are also like, I don't know. You never know. I mean, a lot of these fucking, sometimes, man, these things are like, you think these old motherfuckers that come in here that are like 37 and they just come out looking like they're young again, dude. I don't really know. Ooh, that's actually pretty nice. So what we're gonna do, obviously we're gonna start from the bottom up. First fight on the card, last fight on the card. I'm gonna do the formula a little different this time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have two things. I'm gonna assess the fight, and then after the fight, after we assess the fight, I'm gonna pick a money line, and then I'm gonna pick basically how I think the fight's gonna end. So hence you see the money line, and then via decision, TKO, submission, whatever the case may be. So that's how we're gonna run through this. Yeah, so I mean, let's get it started with Usman and Peterson. Peterson's garbage, absolute garbage, fucking garbage. He lost to a trash can, I think, his last time out. No, yes, Jamal Pogues, big fatty Pogues, big fat boy Pogues. Yeah, Peterson's trash. When I watched him in that fight against Pogues, I was absolutely disgusted. Didn't understand what I was seeing. I think that if Usman is any ounce of good that I hope he is, this should be a layup for him. So if anything, this isn't, if the underdog won this fight, it wouldn't be like, ooh, an underdog win. It would be an underdog win slash exposing. That's what it would be. Because Peterson is dog shit. And how are you? Tell me this. How are you 6'1" and 258 pounds? That is nuts. You're barely hitting the fucking, you're almost hitting the heavyweight limit, and you're only 6'1". It's like 6'1" fighters in middleweight. What are we talking about? So I am gonna go ahead and not side with Peterson. I'm gonna go ahead and say Usman definitely wins this fight, as he should. As he should. Emphasis on should. You know, this is MMA. We never know. Never know what happens in this fucking sport, but we're gonna go ahead and say that Usman wins this fight. Now, as far as how, let me take caps off. As far as how, to be fair with you, I don't really there's like glimpses of Usman where I see like him just being content if he's winning a round or two to not really go for the knockout. I see him quite often kind of coast, right? Where I could totally see this being a situation where he is wrestling Peterson, or even piecing him up, whatever the case may be. He's winning the first couple rounds, and then the third round he feels like he's up and he'll just coast, and it'll be okay for him, and he'll just get that dub and he'll move on. I can totally see that from Usman. But at the same time, Peterson's dog shit, he might get caught. So do I say that Peterson's gonna get caught in the first couple rounds? He's dog shit. I think so. I really think so. So you know what? I'm gonna say Usman. See, this is tricky. I'm gonna say I feel safer with Usman winning by decision. If that makes any sense. Like, I feel safer with that pick, but him getting a KO win would be very understandable. So all right, we're gonna do three things. We're gonna do a money line, and then basically how I think the money line is gonna win through via, right? And then the third thing, if I have a personal pick for it, then what, like typically what I would put on a parlay, right? We're gonna do that. So we're gonna do, I honestly think that Usman is gonna win this fight for sure. We're gonna say by we're gonna say by decision. We're gonna say by decision. I think he's gonna coast. I think he's gonna be beating this dude's ass, and then he's gonna kind of coast in the later rounds. I think Peterson's garbage, but I don't think he's gonna get knocked out though. Let me just double check, see how many times he's gotten knocked out. He's got knocked out by Cortez Acosta back in 2022. So do I think it's his time to go to sleep? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. He has a lot of knockout wins. Ooh, goodness. All these knockouts. With a random submission? Alright, live, you saw me change my pick. Usman by KO. Usman by KO in round 2. And then I honestly have a personal pick for this. What I think I'm gonna put on a my parlay, I think. Let's do my pick. Over 1.5 rounds. That's gonna be my my pick for that. Fix that so you can see it. Fix that so y'all can see it. Yeah, I think Usman's gonna get it done by KO, but I don't think it's gonna be in the first round or anything crazy like that. I think he's gonna win by KO probably in late second round. That sounds a little bit realistic to me. Cause Peterson's garbage. He's fat, short, and garbage. Very trash. And I think he's gonna get exposed in the UFC, and it's gonna be a quick UFC venture for him, in my opinion. That really is really good. Moving on. Carolina versus Pudilova. Pudilova's garbage. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. Pudilova's garbage. Carolina did get Carolina, sorry, keep fucking her name up. Carolina did gets spinning back elbowed by Molly McCann, so that's a bit alarming. But I'm gonna put their name in here, Pudilova. But at the same time, dude, I think just being garbage in general just kind of trumps everything, if we're gonna be honest. So, to be honest here, let's take a look here. We got some losses, we got some wins. She's kind of like 50-50 with it. Last I remember, man, this girl can't stuff a takedown to save her fucking life. Let me just take a look at some things here. So since losing to McCann, she lost again by split decision, then she won by unanimous decision, and then she knocked the bitch out. So literally, what are we gonna say? That's an upcoming? She's coming up, right? Like, she loses by KO, then barely loses, then wins unanimously, and then just knocks the bitch out. If anything, that's like, if you look at like a graph, kind of like going up and down, this is kind of like her getting knocked the fuck out is the lowest. And it's just been kind of up from there. Even it was a split decision loss, she barely lost, but at least she didn't get spinning back elbowed. You know what I'm saying? She's figuring this shit out, it looks like. And who better to keep the train going against than garbage ass Pudilova? I mean, and she's Brazilian. I mean, she looks like a jungle warrior. I mean, look at this girl. Look at that. Savage. Savagery. I don't know why I would, to be honest, I don't see a world where I bet on Pudilova. So just because of that fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say Carolina wins this fight. And I'm gonna say she wins by unanimous decision. So in that case, I mean, those are basically my picks. I mean, that's kind of what I would pick on something, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ride with that, I guess. Guess that works for me. I really do need to do a my pick, because if I do a my pick, I mean, it would be like, to be honest, I would just do over like 2.5 rounds. But that's saying that Carolina wins by decision. By decision is just self-explanatory, over 2.5 rounds, so let's just let that ride. I think that's safe. All right. Move on. Trey Ogden versus Loic Razhabov. Razhabov? I hope I'm not fucking his name up. Pretty sure that's how you say it. Razabov. Razabov, the D silent. There we go. Much better. See, this one's kind of tough for me. Let me get it. Let me get it written in here. All right, so my money line. Let me just assess a couple things here. You know, it's really hard to bet for somebody that lost to Jordan Levitt, to be honest with you. Really hard to bet on someone that lost to Jordan Levitt. But at the same time, Jordan Levitt isn't really... not really that bad if we're gonna be honest. You know, I mean, he's okay, he's just a fucking weirdo. So... let me look at Rez. I'm gonna fuck his name up so much. Razabov. Let's look at my guy. He came from Eagle Fighting Championship. I didn't even know that. Yuck. What kind of fighters they got down there? I see that Razabov is the betting favorite, but what are we saying here? Let me look at let's look at activity, I guess. He's already fought this year, Trey Ogden. He fought in March. Fought in November and April of last year. If I look at Razabov, okay, so he's kind of in the same boat here. Do I trust our hometown boy Trey Ogden? That's the question. Against a guy who, Trey Ogden, the guy that lost to Jordan Levitt by split decision, which ain't that bad. At least he didn't get choked out by him. And fucking, God, I hate Jordan Levitt so much. Oh my gosh. Do I trust him to beat fucking A? I can't get this guy's fucking name right to save my life. Razabov, I think. I could be so fucking wrong still. Do I trust him to beat an Eagle FC fighter who's coming off a knockout win against Al Sawadi? Al Sawadi hadn't been looking too bad. He has a fight scheduled against Oh, he's scheduled to fight. Okay. I'm gonna be a bit. I'm gonna play like this. I do not think Trey Ogden's gonna pull it off. I don't think so. I don't think so, and let me tell you why. My gut says so. I don't really have like a real reason, to be honest with you. These two are like kind of the same fighter. You know, Trey Ogden kind of has like the same kind of style as Volk, where it's kind of like the stick and move kind of thing. They're both kind of the same fight. They both do the same thing, but honestly, I think that Razabov is just a better version of it. In all honesty. And he hasn't lost to Jordan Levitt, so I'm gonna give it to Razabov. I'm gonna say Razabov. God, I hate this guy's name. I'm gonna say this dude wins via knockout. I'm gonna say he wins by knockout. Let's say by, let's say TKO. I mean, I don't think it matters, but TKO. Fuck it, let's say round one. TKO round one. I think he's just gonna fucking starch him. Starch him. I think he's gonna starch him. I don't think this is going to go to decision. I don't think so. Because both these guys are not very gun shy. You know, it's not like even Trey Ogden's gonna be looking for a, oh my goodness. I forgot about Trey Ogden. Oh, I forgot this dude is just a grappler, bro. That kind of like messes it all up for me. You know? See, that's why I say TKO though. Like, I mean, like I said, TKO KO don't matter in like odds perspective, but like if you're talking about just the way it's gonna end, I think Ogden is just gonna be looking for takedowns. I think Razabov's gonna know that. He's gonna stuff him a lot, beat his ass, piece him up, drop him, beat him up on the ground. It's gonna be an end of the fight. That's what I think. But I could totally see Trey Ogden just kind of stalling the fight because he's hurt so much by wrestling. So I wanna have a pick on this, but I want to have a pick on this, but I don't really I don't really feel comfortable placing a bet on this fight, to be honest with you. Do I feel confident in the fact that Razabov's gonna knock him out in the first round? Yeah, I feel quite confident in that. But do I feel confident enough to put my money on it? I mean, it's kind of a toss-up, you know, between two separate things. Like, Trey Ogden's a wrestler. You know, it could totally get stalled into the end. But if he doesn't get the takedown, he's getting knocked out in the first round. So it's like one of two things, right? I want to say that one's tough. I don't want to place a bet on it. I'm not going to place a bet on it myself, but I do believe he's going to get knocked out. I'm not going to say round one. Let's just say TKO. Because I think he finds it. I don't think he I don't think he's gonna make it to the end. I don't think. I think the only way that maybe I see a world where Trey Ogden gets a takedown and gets a submission too, but I think if like that's your only game, that's something that you could just train for, is just straight up wrestling defense. And if you're not training for that, I don't really know what you're doing, to be honest. And I think Razabov is just better than Trey Ogden. So, because if you're getting out wrestled by fucking Jordan Levitt, like how, I mean, Jordan Levitt's not amazing, but he got out wrestled by Patty Pimblett. So I don't really know. I don't know how high to put you on my pedestal, right? So in order for me to bet on Trey Ogden, I need him to show me more. Until then, I think I'm just going to bet against him. So I think Razabov wins by TKO. And I feel like that's a safe assessment, so we'll just ride with that. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in. Alright, next fight on the card. Miranda Maverick versus, I forgot her first name, Deone Barboza. I mean, Maverick's gonna win this fight. I mean, when Maverick fought Macy Barber, I really thought she won that fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think she got a little robbed, and she looked fucking awesome in that fight. I think Barboza is just gonna be kind of like a stepping stone for her to kind of make it back to where she was at. Let me just double check. Yeah, she lost to Macy Barber, Erin Blanchfield, Jasmine Judavicius. See, these aren't bad losses. These aren't bad losses. She beats up people that she's supposed to. Sabria Mazo, Shanna Young, Priscilla Couture, I don't fucking know your fucking name. Andrea Lacey. She beats up people she's supposed to. And that's what you like to see, you know. But those tough fights, I mean, those are obviously tough for her. She obviously got to work on that. But I think this is another layup, 3-fight win streak. And then she'll get a little bit up there in the rankings. So I think she wins this fight. She wins this fight by decision. Barboza? Let me just check out Barboza here. 4-fight win streak. One in the UFC. Seems good. She has been TKO'd. The chin has been tested. Let me just go to Maverick again. Let me look at her stuff. All right, do I think Miranda Maverick is going to out-wrestle Barboza? Yes, absolutely think so. I think Miranda Maverick is going to out-wrestle her. She's going to be very dominant, ground and pound, win the fight unanimously by decision. I don't think she submits Barboza. I think this fight's going to go to decision. And Miranda Maverick's going to win this fight by decision. That's what I'm gonna say, and that's what I'm gonna lock in. Lock it in, boys. That's what we're going with. And then I do have a pick for this. I think this fight absolutely goes over 2.5 rounds. Absolutely goes over 2.5 rounds. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in, boys. All right, next fight on the card, we got Kelleher versus Gibson. Kelleher's not good. Kelleher is not active. There are a lot of things about this guy that I do not like. So I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not betting on this guy. Gibson should win this fight, if we're being straight honest. Like, there's really nothing, there's no reason that tells me that Kelleher should win this fight. I mean, there's no, like, for real, his wrestling's trash. He can't knock out a goddamn dog if he tried. Don't come after me, Peter. Like, he's just ass. And Gibson, like, here's my thing with these, with the tough fighters, okay? With the Ultimate Fighter kit, with the Ultimate Fighters, Ultimate Fighter fighters, whatever the fuck you want, the tough guys, the tough guys. They don't want to look like, oh, we put in like all of our people from Tough are getting shit on, right? Like, what's his name? What's the guy that won Tough? God, I can't remember his name right now. That Canadian. I don't know. I can't remember his name right now. Fuck is this dude's name? Brad Katona. That was his fucking name. Jesus. Brad Katona. His first fight back in the UFC was embarrassing. He got fucked up. And then the other guy, forgot the other guy's name. I've been from last year's The Ultimate Fighter, from last year's Tough. I've seen those guys fight. I've seen 3 of them fight, I think. Brad Katona, last time I seen Cody Gibson fight, he fucking lost. He even lost to Brad Katona. And Brad Katona had a awful first fight after he beat Gibson. So then now Gibson's on a 2-fight losing streak after losing to fucking Katona, right? Do I say he gets a contract? He gets a contract back, he comes back and loses 3 straight? I mean, I really don't think so. I mean, all the negative things I was saying, I mean, I don't see a world where you get a second UFC contract and then you lose 3 fights out the gate. Like, especially after losing your Ultimate Fighter fight against Brad Katona. I mean, okay, it would be technically 2 because Ultimate Fighter fight don't count as a UFC fight, but at the same time, like, that would be 3 straight losses. Kelleher is on 3 straight losses. I think he loses 1 more, he's out of the UFC. So which one do I think is more realistic? Cody Gibson losing 2 straight and then staying in the UFC, or Kelleher being a fucking layup so that their tough guy could look a little better than he has been looking. You know, that's my reasoning. So honestly, I think that weighs better in Gibson's favor. I do believe Gibson is gonna get the dub here. I think Gibson gets the dub by decision. Gibson by unanimous decision is what I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock in Gibson. And we're gonna say Gibson. By unanimous decision. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in. And I actually do have a pick for this. This is going over a round and a half for sure. I don't know what the odds are. I'm not looking at them. So maybe that might not be like, that might not be plus money or anything, but as you can tell, I have a very I have a habit of picking rounds. I like the over and under on rounds. It's my favorite thing to pick. But when it comes to like strikes and takedowns and stuff like that, I'm on I mean, I like that too, but it depends, you know, because like sometimes like fights just end early, and then even if the guy you thought was gonna get the most strikes wins, like the fight ended early, so you had time to get those strikes, you know. So it's kind of annoying how that works sometimes. At least like if you're betting on the fight to go like a certain distance, it's like, at least if you're betting on the fight to go over a certain distance, it's like you at least, you either get that or you don't, you know. It's really what it boils down to. So I'm just I'm gonna go ahead and lock that in. Cody Gibson to win by decision. And my pick for this to go on my parlay is for this to go over a round and a half for sure. This is gonna go over a round and a half, and I'm gonna be a happy man. And anyone that does not fade me. But like I said, these are all my picks. You can pick and choose whatever you want out of this. You ain't gotta pick any of these things, but at least you get my honest take on it, right? So that's what we're gonna ride with. All right. Next fight on the card. We're moving on to the main card now, huh? All right. Zhang Li. Zhang Li. Let me take a look here. My guy is on a tear. I didn't even realize this dude was on such a tear. Road FC. Road to UFC. Just killing him. Just killing him. Hyder Emil. Now, might be a hot take. Might be a hot take, but what I'm gonna say. I think this dude's gonna be good. I think he's gonna be good in the division. I think he's gonna beat a lot of ass. And to be honest, yeah, Emil is 9-0. Yeah, Emil is 9-0. But Bellator and LFA are not really the best proving grounds, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I mean, that's kind of like the same thing that I say about Michael Chandler's. I mean, there's a lot of people that just love that guy. I mean, for how much of a dog he is, you know. But if we're gonna be honest, dude loses most fights. You know, like, he's a dog for sure. But if we're talking like skill, progressive skill to take you to the top of the sport, I don't see that a lot from Bellator. We don't see that a lot from Bellator, especially like LFA is just, oh my goodness. Especially if you're an LFA for, let me see. That might be my personal take. Obviously, it's my personal take. And it might be a little sour. You know, but I don't really it's about like exposure. You know, like, am I gonna say that Hyder Emil has had a tougher exposure, tougher competition through Bellator and LFA than Zhang fucking his name up. Zhang something. Hold on, let me see. Zhang Li. Am I gonna say that he's had tougher competition and has seen worse than Zhang Li has through the Road FC, Road to UFC, with all of these Thai fighters, all these Asian fighters, and then Blake Builder, not a bad fighter himself. I know he's on a 2-fight losing streak, but look, dude was on a massive tear. Massive tear. I mean, Dominated that fight. That was a great fight. Dominated. Looked amazing. And he's fucking big. Fucking big dude. Let me look at the reach advantage. Younger. Taller. Bigger. I mean, what else is there to talk about? You know, like, it's not really, it doesn't, like, if you were to blindly ask me to put money on one of these fighters, if I was at like a backyard brawler, I'm picking him. And then now that I go through all the stats and everything that they've done, I'm still picking him. So I'm gonna say Zhang Yong Li wins this fight. Now, how? This is 145. How? That's tough, you know. I think he gets a submission. I think he's got longer limbs. He's lankier. He's gonna get. He doesn't really have a lot of knockout power. I think he's gonna sting the fuck out of Emil, and he's gonna get that rear naked choke. That's what I think. In round two sub. Lock it in, boys. Round 2 submission. And my pick. And I'm actually gonna throw a pick in here. I'm taking the Lee money line. I'm taking that Lee money line, baby. I'm taking that Lee money line, baby. Because it's not bad. What is it at right now? Let me look. Minus 180? That's solid. I'm taking that Lee money line, baby. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next fight here. Duho Choi versus Bill Algeo. I think Bill Algeo is really good, you know. I think Bill Algeo is really good, you know. I don't know. I can't remember who he fought last. Let me put this on the chart here. I don't know who he fought last. Let me take a look here. Oh, Kyle Nelson. That's not a bad loss. He's been on a fucking tear, dude. Fighting Cater next. So, not a bad loss. He lost to Andre Philly. Not a bad loss either. He beat Anthony Hernandez. Herbert Burns. Although I think Herbert Burns didn't really age very well. Yeah, he's ass. Anthony Hernandez though. Or Alexander, I'm sorry. Alexander Hernandez. He's been looking ass too. So it just depends on how you look at it, you know? I mean, what I want to tell myself is Bill Algeo is just a little bit more dialed in right now. Let me look at Choi's record and shit real quick. Wow. He lost to Cubs. Dude, this guy's not been fighting at all. And had a head class draw. I remember this. He hasn't been fighting. So I'm gonna take consistency. I'm gonna take consistency and more dialed in training over somebody who's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, especially when you're kind of coming off a bunch of losses and then a head class draw. I mean, obviously you could either be in like two mind spaces where you're like super amped, you need this dub, like you're huge about it, this is going to be the biggest dub because it's going to be your comeback, or the other mindset where it's like you're just kind of out of it at this point. It's just like fuck, like oh my gosh, I gotta get something, and it's kind of like a negative mindset. Now if I'm thinking of it at mindset, I think Bill Algeo's in a better mindset considering he's just a little bit more active, a lot more active. And then if you're gonna look at just their stats in general, 2 inches taller, more reach, 2 years of experience, and he's been fighting. I mean, way more fights, 8 more fights. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to Bill Algeo. I think Algeo's gonna get it done. I think Algeo's gonna get it done. I think he's gonna get it done by KO. I think he gets it done. I think he TKOs him. That's what I think. And I don't have any picks on this fight. I don't really know for sure what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a great feeling Algeo's taking this by KO. I have a great feeling about that. About any kind of like anything in this fight worth me putting my money on, I don't. There's too many variables for me to decide rather than just the straight money line. Like, do I think Algeo's gonna win this fight? Sure. Do I think just the wrong version of Algeo could come out and just totally fuck my whole parlay up? Yeah, I see that too. So, but idealistically, I absolutely see Algeo taking this fight. Absolutely. Absolutely, I see him winning this fight. And I see him winning by KO. And In round 1. Round exclamation point. Yeah, TKO round 1. No, round 2. I'm tripping. Round 2 KO. LGO. Decision. LGO wins by decision. Let me just double check his shit here. He's got 1 KO win. He's got no KO wins in the UFC. He wins by decision. I just had a feeling before I even looked at it. I was just second guessing the fuck out of myself. Bill Algeo wins by decision against Choi. And then I do feel good about the money line on Algeo, but like I said, you just never know, and I think he's really susceptible to just coming out with some random version of him that we didn't want to see. So I'm not gonna have a pick myself on this, but I'm just gonna go. That's my prediction for the fight right there. Lock it in, boys. Lock it in. Moving on. Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. 5'4". Wow, you're short. So good. So good. Wish I was sponsored by that much. Show them off. But they ain't paying me, so fuck them. Bruno Silva. Inactive as fuck. 2021, 2021, 2023. Early 2023. It has been over a year since he fought last. And then over 2 years since he fought before then. Almost 2 years since he had fought before then. Not a good look. Definitely not a good look. Cody Durden, on the other hand, let's take a look. Way taller. 3 inches taller. Huge tear. Loses to Olenbekov. Who's on a tear himself. Lost to Tamiliot. I guess that's okay. Tamiliot's not a sleeper. Now, what's the reach? He's got more reach. 3 inches taller. He's kind of the skinnier dude, but that's just because of the height or whatever. Let's look at their tendencies to finish fights here. Unanimous decisions. Some KOs. Cody Durden by decision. Cody Durden by decision. I don't think Silva's gonna come in on his A game. I don't know how long you're gonna get away with fucking. Like, I really don't know how long you're gonna get away with stepping in the octagon at once every other year. You know, like I don't know. Like, he's on a 3-fight win streak. I don't know how fucking long that's gonna last. There's no way that you come in on a 4-fight win streak fucking fighting once every year and a half. Like, I don't like that. I don't like the way that looks. I think Durden's gonna get this dub unanimously by decision. I know he's an underdog. I see that there. Let me look at the live odds. Let me see what it says here. Cody Durden underdog. We'll take that. We will absolutely take the underdog pick. We will absolutely take that. We're gonna definitely take that. By decision. Lock it in, boys. And this fight is 1,018% going over a round and a half. So that's actually gonna be my pick. Definitely gonna go over a round and a half. That's 1,000,000% my pick for that. So far we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks. On top of the rest of my predictions here. Based on everything that we said. I really do think this is underdog win right here. I think that might be my first underdog pick. A lot of layups on this card. A lot of layups on this card. I won't lie. It's looking like a basketball game right now. You feel me? Looking like a lot of layups going on here. I don't know if I like that very much. I like me a nice little underdog victory. I was really hoping for the Lions, man. You feel me? Really hoping, but you know, sometimes it turns into a basketball game. A lot of layups. All right, next we got Halaba versus Krachewski? Krachewski? I think. I don't know how to fucking say his name. I think I might be fucking it up real bad, but fuck it. God, I just hate the way this shit is spelled sometimes too. That's unbelievable. All right, this one. Halaba, garbage, old, shorter, less reach, gonna lose. That's it. That's it. Enough said. I mean, do I even need to go into the stats? Krachewski on a tear. 15-2. Let me look at his fights. He last lost to Brenner. Not bad. By KO. He got a little exposed from what I hear. He got knocked the fuck out. I don't remember that fight, to be honest. I didn't really look it up either. Because, like, to be honest, believe it or not, it's really fucking hard to find fights on YouTube, dude. It's really hard to do fucking research because they don't allow you to see these fights unless you look up fucking highlights. And then a lot of the highlights aren't even available. They're in fucking another language and they look like shit. And then you can't, as if like fighting needs to be in a language specifically. But You get what I'm saying? Like it's all fucked up and grainy. It like zooms in and out. I literally hate trying to rewatch fights on fucking YouTube sometimes. Shit does not look right sometimes. Really stupid. But either way, Alaba, ass, shorter, less reach, old. A lot of things working against him right now. He lost to Trey Ogden, who I think is gonna lose on the same fucking card. So I would be literally beside myself to say that he wins this next fight. And he came from tough. He came from tough. These tough guys are not it. I've been saying it. I've been saying it since they got here. Since that season ended and they've been here, every single one of them are ass. The only one showing out right now. There's no one showing out right now. They're all ass. The only one that I like right now from tough that's fighting currently is fucking Usman, and even he just looks ass sometimes. Like it's almost hard to fucking bet on him. He looks so garbage sometimes. Cause he's just like, he does this, him and every one of these other tough fighters, like I don't know what it is with them, but they have this bitch in them that I can't seem to not see when they're in these fights. Like fucking oh my goodness, fucking, oh, it's hard to explain. I don't even know their names like that. I can't think of their names off the top of my head. But Halabal for sure. Like that unanimous decision loss against Trey Ogden, dude just gave the fuck up. And then that last win that Usman got, arguably, I don't think he should have won. Like I almost want to go back and look. Like dude, I feel like he was gifted a win on that one. And then fucking Brad Katona, most boring fucking fight ever, just to eke out a win on his last fight. And then the fucking, like, all these tough fighters are just boring. They're all boring, they're all ass. They're not that great. Like, why can't we get like a fucking, like a dope ass dog out of tough? That's kind of what I was hoping for when they all got here, especially the ones that didn't win and still got a contract. And they're all looking like just terrible signings, dude. So good. Every time I take a sip, it's so good. So I honestly think Halaba, ass. Shorter, old, dookie, not gonna win. Shorter reach, dog shit. So Pachuski, whatever your fucking name is, I'll give it to you, bud. I think you got this one in the bag. This is a layup. This guy's dog shit. Oh my god, I hate spelling your fucking name. My dyslexia is going insane right now. Fuck, what a terrible name. And then, how do I think he wins? This is lightweight? He's gonna get knocked out, bro. I'm just gonna chalk it up to that. He's gonna get fucking knocked the fuck out. He's gonna get knocked the fuck out. KO. I said TKO for quality's sake. Via TKO, and then what are the odds looking like? Can I do a money line for this? A money line pick? Would it be worth it? Minus 130? Fuck yeah, I'll do a money line pick. What the fuck? Minus 130, that's... Oh my god, I really don't want to spell his name again. There we go. Technology wins. God, this dude's last name is so long too. Trying to make it fit on the screen. There we go. So there's that. Petruski or Kurt, oh. Whatever his fucking name is, dude. I'm just gonna do this, just so it fits on the screen. And we're calling him Cruz, baby. My guy Cruz. Kuchewski. Cruz. I'm calling him Cruz. His name's Cruz. Fuck it. Fuck him and his mama for naming him that. Sorry, bro. I didn't mean to say about it. Mama. All right. Next fight. Garcia versus Choi. Now, so this is why I do my prediction picks, my analysis and all that the day of, okay? Because there are, dude, these, like, the way that these cards be, like, we get a lot of cancellations and shit, like the day of, the day before type shit. We get this shit a lot. So I do my analysis, my picks and all that the day of the fucking card to get as close to what fights are going to be on the card, because we had Song Young Choi, or no, fuck. Oh god. Pak. Forgot his something Pak. Song oh, I don't want to be racist. Something Pak. The Iron Turtle. That guy. He that fight got canceled to undisclosed illness or something like that. So that fight fell through a couple days ago. And I think instead of adding a fight to the card, they just moved everybody up one. So now this is the co-main event. I don't this one, I think this was one of my harder predictions because I'm not really too familiar with really either of these fighters. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But we're going to do our research together. We're going to learn together here. That's the whole point. That is the whole point. So let's just write this in. And then go ahead and start breaking this down. Now, let's take a look here. Steve Garcia, triple decker wins, all by fucking KO. Ooh, man, he's a dog. KO, knockout loss, KO, unanimous decision. Probably beat his ass the whole time. KO. Let's look at their sizes again. It's a little older, same height. Reach is the same. Why does Garcia just look like a bigger guy though? Let me look at Choi's situation here. Oh, 3 losses in a row. We don't like to see that. Now, if I was a gambling man, if I was a gambling man, right? If we look at the wins and losses, right? Now, imagine the wins and losses are like red or black on a roulette table, right? No, this is just strictly that alone, right? Just think about it in this aspect. So we're gonna put the fighting MMA math to the side and just put it on our gambling brain. Win, win, win. Right, let's say that's red. Or no, let's say that's black. Loss, loss, loss. That's red. Then we get another black. Are we gonna say it's gonna go 3 blacks, 3 reds, then 2 more blacks? Or are we gonna say it lands on red again? Like it switches. If I were bet on the roulette table, based on that, I would bet on red. From that aspect. Now, stepping back into the MMA and putting our MMA shoes on. His last fight was August 26th of 2023. So he hasn't fought in a little bit under a year. 11 months. Then if we go back to Garcia, let's see how active he's been. He fought about 7 months ago. 7.5 months ago. He's been on a 3-fight win streak. I would say like 4 months more active than Choi. A little bit more, he's got a little bit more drive headed behind him because of the 3-win streak. He's looking to keep that intact. I think Choi would be a nice layup for him. He would be on a 4-fight win streak, probably looking for some type of ranked opponent after that. So I think he has a lot to gain from this fight. I think Choi, if he were to lose this fight, he wouldn't necessarily get cut. But I think he would be looking at maybe 1 more loss before he is cut. So he doesn't really have so much to lose. He's not really a ranked opponent or really a ranked fighter right now. Or really even looking anywhere close to it. So I think Garcia has a lot to gain from this fight. I think he's a lot bigger of a man for the division. His record's better. He's had more fights. A little bit more active. He's a dog. He's either knocking you out or getting knocked out. And to me, just based on this, it looks like Choi is very susceptible. Decision, submitted, decision. Whether he's winning or losing fights, it looks like he's very susceptible to go towards the end of the fight. He had one round 1 KO. Recently. I don't know how much you consider 3 years ago recently, but he had 1 KO. He had 1 round 1 KO win back in 2021. So I mean, if we're gonna look at those statistics and just the way that is, I'm probably gonna have to side with Garcia. And to be honest, I think Choi is very susceptible to getting knocked the fuck out. So like, we're gonna go ahead and say Garcia wins by KO. I think we're gonna get 2 KO fights in a row. I think Halaba and Kuchuski, that fight ends in KO, and then the next fight ends in KO. I think we get 2 KOs in a row. And do I think what round? I feel like it's very comfortable to say that motherfuckers get knocked out in the 2nd round, but sometimes people just get caught, and I think I think this is gonna be a big night for Garcia. I think he's gonna come out and knock out Choi in the first round. I just got a feeling. It's in my gut, dude. Just have a feeling. So that's what we're gonna lock in. I'm gonna say Garcia wins round 1 KO, and this is good that I do these predictions too. Just a little bit before, like about noonish before the card starts, because it gives me less time to second guess myself. Because I feel like that's when my picks are wrong most of the time, when I be second guessing and picking fucking Pavlovich instead of Volkov. My fucking god, so annoying. So we are gonna say that Garcia wins via KO in round fucking 1, baby. That's what we're picking, baby. And to be fair, dude, like these odds are so close. Like, what are? I know I said at the beginning that there's a lot of layups on this card, but that's not what the odds be saying. Like, how come Garcia is just a -155? That's like, dude. I'm taking the Garcia money line. I am taking the Garcia money line. I mean, it's -150. 155. Like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. All right, main event, and then I have to go poop. So let's make it quick, shall we? Amanda Lemos. The main event. Wow, I really have to shit. Jandiroba. All right. Now, I am, to tell you the truth, I am a Lemos fan. I am a Lemos fan. I am. Let me say that to your soul. I am wholeheartedly a fan of this woman. But there is something that is pulling me to Jandiroba. I think me and her just have some type of connection, you know? I don't know what it is, but you know, I don't know what it is, but just something tells me I think she's got this one. No, to be totally honest, I seen Lemos's takedown defense in her last title fight, and she was abysmal. Got absolutely ragdolled, and I did not like the way that looked at all. I think she has terrible takedown defense. I think she is terrible on her back, and I think she is a fighter kind of like Pereira, where if she gets taken down, she'll try her best to hold you and take as least amount of damage as she can to try to make it to the end of the round. I think she's that kind of fighter. I'm not really a fan of I'm not a fan of that at all. Jandiroba has never lost by knockout. Jandiroba has never lost by knockout, and Lemos has dynamite in her hands. So, do I think that Jandiroba is going to take the point of least resistance and try to kind of just out wrestle Lemos and kind of get this done in the distance by dominant ground and pound and takedowns? I think so. Now, I kind of got a couple picks for this. First of all, let me say I think Jandiroba is gonna win this fight. Jandiroba is gonna win. I think she wins by a decision. And let me go ahead and lock that in, and let me go over my picks here. via decision. And then my picks for this, I got a couple. So now I know I said I like to do rounds of money line, but I think Jandiroba is gonna get a couple takedowns. I give her 3. I think in the distance of 5 rounds, I think she can at least get 3 takedowns, and I think she's gonna be going for them a lot because, like I said, Lemos has got them dynamite hands. So she's not gonna want to get hit too much. She's definitely gonna want to take this to the ground. I'm gonna give Jandiroba 3+ takedowns. We're gonna call her Jan. 3+ takedowns. And then let me bring this down here. We're gonna give Jandiroba 3+ takedowns, and then I'm also gonna say that this goes over 2.5 rounds for sure. I know that, let me look at the odds. I'm pretty sure it's like, it's at 2.5 rounds. That's where it's at. So is this a 5-round fight? It is, isn't it? Main event is 3 rounds or 5 rounds. So yeah, I'm gonna say she gets 3+ takedowns and over 2.5 rounds. And that's my pick for the main event. All right. So we're gonna go over our card again. We're gonna go everything that we picked here. Usman versus Peterson. Peterson is a fat garbage can. Usman wins by TKO in the 2nd round. My specific pick that I'm doing for this is gonna be over 1.5 rounds for the fight. Okay. The next fight on the card was Carolina versus Padalova. Again, Padalova's dog shit. Carolina's gonna win this by decision. Trey Ogden versus fuck this guy. Raz Habov. Raz Habov wins by TKO. Maverick versus Barboza. Maverick is slept on. Very good. I think she wins dominantly by decision. My specific pick for this is that it goes over 2.5 rounds for sure. I think this goes the distance for sure. Keller versus Gibson. Gibson is going to win by unanimous decision. I do say this fight is definitely going over 1.5 rounds for sure. Nobody's gonna finish in this fight. I don't believe so. Lee versus Emil. I'm picking Lee. Lee, round 2 submission, baby. But my pick for this, my specific pick is just that Lee wins in general. The odds are just too good to pass up. So Lee, money line. That's my pick. That's what we're rolling with. Lock it in, boys. Algeo versus Choi. We're going with our boy Bill Algeo by decision. American, baby. Let's go. Durden versus Silva. Durden via decision. My pick on this fight, over 1.5 rounds. Halabov versus Krachewski. Yep, Krachewski by KO. And honestly, we're just gonna go with the fuck these people. Cruz. We're going with the Cruz money line. Cruz money line. I feel comfortable with that pick. We're going next on here. Garcia versus Choi. Garcia, round 1 KO. Those are my prediction. And then Garcia money line. That's my pick for that fight. And then the main event, Lemos versus Jandiroba. I'm picking Jandiroba to win by decision. And then the specific picks that I have that I'm going to be rolling with, Jandiroba, 3+ takedowns, over 2.5 rounds. And those are my predictions for this fight. I'm going to give you guys a bonus. Just because today is also Boxing Day. We're also going to try to see what's going on with, we're going to predict the Jake Paul and Mike Perry fight. Wow, I have the shit. We're going to predict that fight too. And we're going to make it snappy because I do have to poop. Now, bonus, Mike Perry versus Jake Paul. Now this one's tough. This has really had me thinking lately. I'm gonna be honest. Me, just like a lot of other people, so badly, ever so badly do I want Jake Paul to get fucking knocked out, dude. As an MMA fan, I feel like if you're an MMA fan, you just want to see it. Wow, that's so good. Every time. And I know most people probably want to see it, to be honest with you. And Mike Perry is just so damn funny. And honestly, I know he was joking about it, taking Jake Paul's fight against Mike Tyson and being the bad guy fighting old guy Mike. But I would honestly so much rather see Mike v. Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just sounds better. I like Mike Perry better or more, whatever. But I'm just gonna say it how it is. Jake Paul is not trash. He's not trash. I mean, he's a tough guy. He deals nice punches, bombs, knocks people out. Whether they're fucking pizza drivers or not, he has the ability to knock people out. I think Jake Paul has a very solid chance to win this fight, especially if it's done within the first couple rounds. He's very susceptible to put him out quick. But to say that Mike Perry, of all people, is going to get knocked out in the first couple rounds is kind of blasphemy to me. And the way that I see Jake Paul looking in the later rounds is kind of sus. You know, like he gets real gassed. He gets real gassed, and it's real tough to see when you're seeing somebody get that gassed against Mike Perry. You know, if you've seen Mike Perry's fight against MVP and Bare Knuckle when they were in the 6th round, Mike Perry looked a little gassed, yeah, but he didn't look as gassed as Jake Paul does in like the fucking 6th round of boxing, right? And I feel like in order to not get hit by bare knuckles, you kind of have to move a little bit more, maybe a little bit more agile in the ring than in normal boxing, because you can absorb a lot more punches, so you don't have to move as much, you know. So realistically, if weight doesn't play a factor, I'm gonna take Mike Perry winning this fight. And I'm gonna say Mike Perry wins this fight in the distance. I don't think this gets, I honestly don't think anyone gets knocked out in this fight. For someone to get knocked out in this fight, I feel like that would be crazy. That'd be a crazy outcome. For either one of them to get knocked out. If Jake Paul knocks out Mike Perry, that's crazy. If Mike Perry knocks out Jake Paul, that's crazy. You know? So for Mike Perry to win dominantly, I feel like that makes a lot of sense, no? So Mike Perry by unanimous decision. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. And it's not me being biased. As much as I do want Mike Perry to win, I don't believe in later round Jake. I don't believe in late fight Jake. You know, I believe in early Jake. Like first half of the fight Jake. but the back half, he starts getting real tired, dude. And now he's put on so much more weight to lug around. It's hard to believe he's gonna be in more. He's gonna have. It's hard to believe he's gonna have more cardio in the back half of the fight with 200 pounds of weight instead of like 185. Is that what he typically fights at? So, I mean, I'm gonna have to say Mike Perry wins this fight by a decision. Lock it in, boys. By unanimous decision. I like that. I like the way that looks. So. And there we go. There's our predictions for tonight. So I think it's a pretty good looking list. We'll be back tomorrow to assess all of our picks and how well we did. And hopefully we're gonna make some millions tonight for some people, because I'm feeling really good about this list. I like this card. I mean, it's a little slept on, to be honest. I know it's a dookie card for a lot of people, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. If everything plays out the way that I'm expecting it to, I mean, I see a lot of potential for some good fights in here. So I hope it turns out. The main event's probably gonna be super boring. So expect that, be ready for that. But everything else leading up to it, it probably shouldn't be so bad. I don't expect it to be that bad. But this one right here, oh, I'm gonna be watching. Oh, I'm gonna be watching. So I really hope, man. I really hope Mike does it, dude. Really hope we finally get that closure, baby. And we can see where he goes from there. But until then, you guys have a good fight night. And I'm gonna go take a shit.